Hanlon's razor is a philosophical rule of thumb that advises against assuming malice when ignorance or incompetence could explain someone's actions. This principle suggests that instead of attributing harmful intent to others, it is often more reasonable to consider that their actions may stem from misunderstanding, carelessness, or lack of knowledge. Hanlon's razor encourages a more charitable interpretation of people's behaviour and decisions, urging us to avoid jumping to conclusions about their motives. Hanlon's razor has roots in earlier philosophical ideas, but became widely known after being popularised in modern times. The concept is attributed to Robert J. Hanlon, who included it in a submission to a joke book called Murphy's Law Book 2, More Reasons Why Things Go Wrong, although the principle itself might have been independently discovered or expressed by others. Hanlon's version became the most recognised. Some also compare Hanlon's razor to Occam's razor, a philosophical idea that emphasises simplicity in explanations. Both principles share the goal of reducing unnecessary complexity, but Hanlon's razor specifically focuses on human intent. Now let's look at some examples of Hanlon's razor in action. Imagine a coworker forgets to email you an important document before a meeting. Instead of assuming they deliberately ignored your request, Hanlon's razor would suggest considering other possibilities, such as they were overwhelmed with tasks or simply forgot due to an oversight. This perspective reduces unnecessary conflict and encourages understanding. Another example might involve a driver who cuts you off in traffic. While it's easy to assume they acted maliciously or recklessly, applying Hanlon's razor might lead you to consider that they were distracted or misjudged the distance. This interpretation not only lowers frustration, but also reflects a more compassionate attitude. In broader settings, suppose a group project doesn't go as planned because one member didn't complete their part. Hanlon's razor would encourage assuming they misunderstood the instructions or had time management issues, rather than believing they intentionally sabotaged the effort. Now let's look at some strengths of Hanlon's razor. One major strength of Hanlon's razor is its ability to foster empathy and understanding in interpersonal relationships. By attributing mistakes to ignorance or incompetence rather than malice, it helps to reduce unnecessary conflict. This approach promotes better communication and collaboration by encouraging people to give others the benefit of the doubt. Another strength lies in its ability to prevent overcomplicating situations. Jumping to conclusions about malice often involves creating elaborate narratives about someone's motives. Hanlon's razor simplifies such scenarios by focusing on more likely explanations, which can save time and mental energy when trying to resolve misunderstandings. Hanlon's razor also helps individuals maintain emotional balance. Assuming negative intent can lead to anger and resentment, which are emotionally draining. By applying this principle, people are more likely to remain calm and approach situations rationally, which can lead to better outcomes overall. However, Hanlon's razor is not without its criticisms. One criticism is that it can sometimes oversimplify complex situations. While ignorance or incompetence might explain many actions, there are cases where malice is a genuine factor. Relying too heavily on Hanlon's razor might cause someone to ignore red flags or fail to address harmful behaviour effectively. Another criticism is that it might enable complacency. Assuming ignorance or incompetence can discourage people from investigating deeper issues. For example, repeated mistakes by someone in a position of responsibility might signal systemic problems or intentional negligence, which Hanlon's razor might overlook if applied uncritically. A further critique is that Hanlon's razor may inadvertently excuse harmful behaviour. While it's important to approach situations with understanding, there are times when accountability is necessary. Overuse of this principle might lead to situations where individuals are not held responsible for their actions, even when those actions cause harm.